Welcome back! We have here in front of us one of the most legendary Seiko dive watches of the modern era. It is a watch that is quite unusual in styling and ambitious in color choices. I have owned a few first-gen monsters before, and I instantly regretted selling them. Now, it is a watch that is not going anywhere in the collection. Let me share with you why. As always, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss watch reviews like this one. Thank you. The Seiko Monster was released in the year 2000, a few years after the well-known SKX007 and 009. This SKX781, or Orange Monster, and the SKX779, also known as the Black Monster, paved the way for all the Seiko monsters we have today. Now, before I get into it, it's called a monster as a nickname because of the styling of a dial and the case. It's aggressive and it just looks like it's gonna bite you. So both of these watches, the 779 and the 781, use the 7S26 movement. The design of the watch has similar characteristics from the Seiko Tuna series. The shape of the case has a similarity, especially on this end of the case, where the lug is indicated. And looking at the 4 o'clock crown, it definitely has the personality of the Tuna. Throughout the years, there have been several Seiko monsters released, and also baby monsters which have the Seiko 5 logo, and it does not feature a screw-down crown. There are 4 generations of the Seiko Monster as of this video, and there are a lot of choices, a lot of limited editions. I don't even know if you can still get them. I guess a lot of Seiko fans just really love this watch, including me. And today, I would like to talk about the one that started them all. Now, this is a watch that I have acquired a few years back. If you have seen my State of the Collection of dive watches last year, I'll put a link up here. It is already there, and I have sold a lot of those dive watches, and yet the Seiko Monster is still here. The specs of this watch are here, and considering it has a 42.5 millimeter case size to 43, it is quite wearable. And the color on this orange one is just mesmerizing. I know the Black Monster looks great too, but this is somehow a watch that made me appreciate a different dial color besides from black. The lume on this watch is extra bright as compared to the other SKX models. The Monster looms have always been a tad bit brighter than all. Speaking of the dial, the orange minute track inside has turned yellowish of some sort. And I have searched online, and it might be discoloration due to longer exposure to sunlight on a shelf display, for example, on a watch store. I'm not sure if any of you have seen this personally, but I have seen both, and I actually prefer this one because of how the minute ring contrasts to the orange dial. It's just a beautiful mistake, I should say. The bezel on this watch is a bit slippery and harder to grip than most dive bezels, but the look is unique. It looks like a gear wheel. Very tactical and robust looking. The bracelet, on the other hand, is quite comfortable and it feels solid compared to the Jubilee bracelet of Seiko. It is not loud, and despite the lug width being 20 millimeters, it looks like a 22 because of the way it extends right out there. And quite frankly, it matches the case. For those of you who are new, the 7S26 movement has a power reserve of 41 hours and beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. A solid movement which has a proven history. Okay, so before, I had thoughts on selling this watch in order to make room for newer ones. You've been through that, right? You want a new watch, and in order to keep the numbers in control, you have to let go of a few pieces to make room and also return your money. Of all the Seiko Sumos and first gen 62 mass that I have sold, this one is still here. It is hard to find a reason to sell this watch because it is such a beautiful watch, and to me it is not worth selling over something new. I have already done that before. I sold a Black Monster and an Orange Monster, similar to this one, but it's all orange, doesn't have the yellow ring in it. And then I instantly regretted selling the Orange Monster because it was at the time the only colorful watch in my collection. It has a summer watch kind of vibe to it. It doesn't matter to me if this watch is valuable in terms of money right now, because I love it and it is going to stay in the collection. Which brings me to my question to you. Have you ever sold a watch that you instantly regretted? Let me know down below. I'd like to know your experience. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Stay safe.